Early on in my career, when I was starting out in business, one of the biggest mistakes that I made was I assumed that everybody wanted to be led like I wanted to be led, and everybody was motivated for the same reasons that I was. This caused me a lot of frustration and a lot of doubt early on. Looking back, it was really naive of me to think that everybody was like me, but through my 2 decades of experience with people, I have now truly been able to understand the basics of human needs. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel where I help agents become high-producing agents in our industry. In today's video, I'm gonna break down the different basic human needs. This will save you the pitfalls and the mistakes that I made, essentially condensing time frames so you can learn way faster than I did. So stick around. By the end of this video, I wanna help you understand how to identify somebody who has that particular need and give you some ideas on how to fulfill this need for your teammates and your clients. If that sounds good to you, then let's dive into it. Many years ago, Tony Robbins wrote a piece that included the 6 basic human needs. I wish I would have understood this sooner, as it would have propelled me to greatness so much quicker. It's important to understand that we all have a different mix of basic human needs, kind of like the ingredients in a cake. You're all gonna be more dominant in one area than your colleague, and your exact mix will be unique to you, kind of like the fingerprint to each person. Once you learn how they work, you're gonna be able to understand how to lead people to a level that you only dreamed of. This will help you in your business and your personal life. The first basic human need is the need for certainty. The need for certainty is the need to feel secure and safe about the future. The need to avoid pain and avoid stress and also create pleasure. Think of it as a survival mechanism. We all have the need for certainty to seek safety, stability, and predictability in our lives. People that are dominant in the need for certainty are typically people that are uncomfortable with change and like to operate within their comfort zone. They are okay with things looking the same, and they even thrive in the 9-to-5 environment and look forward to the structured schedule. They're often adverse to taking risks, right? Or they want to make sure they do all their research and get all their questions asked before they move forward. I find quite often that a heavily analytical person often has a dominant need for certainty. When I have a client or a teammate that falls into this category, I'm sure to reinforce the bigness of our company and how long that we've been around for and how stable our financial backing is and how long we plan on being business for. It's a constant reminder of stability and strength. Moving on, the next basic human need is the need for variety. The need for variety or uncertainty is basically the opposite of the need for certainty. This is the need for change and the need for every day to feel a bit different. These people aren't afraid to take risks or try new things, often changing jobs or careers on a whim. The idea of being stuck behind a desk every day and doing the same thing over and over again is a non-starter for them. They don't need the guaranteed salary with 3 weeks vacation per year. They're okay to forge their own path. Quite often, variety people seek adrenaline sports and don't shy away from new situations or meeting new people. Putting themselves in a new environment or around new people and new surroundings doesn't scare them even one bit. Most of the people in this category are very outgoing and extremely social. In business, when I'm leading a person that has variety as a dominant need, I'm constantly reminding them of the fact that they're running their own business. They get to set their own hours. Every day gets to feel a little bit different. They're gonna be constantly learning new things. There's an unlimited amount of income that they can make with no cap or no glass ceiling. I'm reminding them that with this business, they can travel the world and become anything that they want. Now, before I move on to the next one, I recently created a free Goal Binder Masterclass. Make sure to click the link in the description box. This Goal Binder Masterclass is a free guide that I have used for 18 years. If you want your business to thrive and have the best chance of smashing your goals in 2023, you definitely can't miss the Goal Binder Masterclass. Again, make sure you click the link in the description box. Now, let's move on to the next basic human need, the need for significance. The need for significance is the need for recognition. Significance people want to be seen and noticed by as many people as possible. They're always fighting for the next contest. They're always checking the numbers to see where they rank. You can tell a significance person when you walk into the room or you log on to Zoom because behind them are all their trophies and their plaques that they're sitting in front of. They have tied their identity to winning and constantly measuring themselves for growth to make sure that they're on track towards a winning culture. You can spot a significance person on social media quite easily because they're on there lots talking about themselves and their personal progress. It doesn't make them bad people. It just means that they crave different things because they have this as a dominant need. The way you lead these people is by reminding them where they rank in comparison to their peers, because they are highly driven to be successful. They love setting goals and they love doing anything that they can do to move up the ladder. As a side note, sometimes they can be overly competitive, which can cause them to be perfectionists, which may drive them to be unhappy along the way. But in general, for those people, you're always throwing a contest they can qualify for to make sure that they're always fighting. The interesting thing about significance people is sometimes deep down, they just want you to tell them that they're special. They just want to know how much that they mean to you, which actually ties into my next need, the need for connection. Connection is the next need. The need for love and connection is to be constantly seeking close relationships with somebody or something. What I have found is that a lot of significant people have been competing their entire life for attention, but at the end of the day, what they really want is a hug and for someone to tell them how proud they are of them. A lot of kids growing up seek love and connection from their parents by competing. This comes across as significance, but masks their need for love and connection. People that are dominant in love and connection are typically loyal with the ones they love. They are not afraid to spend quality time and often have strong relationships and trust with a special group of people. In business, for those that have a dominant need for connection, I'm constantly reminding them of their gifts and how special they are in my life. And I'm not telling them anything that isn't true. I'm just typically being a bit more vulnerable with them, and they are with me, and this builds a stronger bond, stronger than ever. The next need is the need for growth. The need for growth is a need to always be striving to become a better version of yourself. This need drives people to constantly be upgrading their emotional maturity, their education, their knowledge, because they're always trying to reach that next level, at times striving for perfectionism. People that have a dominant need for growth typically have an expectation of the people around them to also grow. Quite often in a relationship, if one partner has the need for growth and the other one doesn't, they tend to grow apart. It's why a lot of people end up getting divorced. In my business, with agents that have the dominant need for growth, I'm constantly challenging them to become a better version of themselves. I know they want to level up. So by me reminding them of what's possible for them, they often accept the challenge. And as a result, they step up into the better version of themselves towards a greater path. The next dominant need is the need for contribution. The need for contribution is the need to make a difference in your community, in your family, or in your home. Contribution people are always talking about giving back or the greater good of what's possible. Often contribution people are trying to change the world because they're willing to put other people's priorities ahead of themselves, even at a financial loss. I find contribution people to be very compassionate and empathetic towards all groups of people. You can hear when they speak. They're very inclusive. They often get emotional when they're talking, and they usually have all of their goals tied to building wells in third world countries or helping poverty in their communities or anything that involves making a difference in somebody else's life. In my business, when I'm leading a contribution person, I often remind them to take care of themselves and their families. Sometimes contribution people can get so caught up in the world itself that they put themselves and their family on the back burner. Further to that, with contribution people, I'm always reminding them that when they win and when they accomplish their goals, the impact that they're gonna have on the world. I rarely talk about money or trophies with contribution people because it almost repels them away from taking the next step. Now at this point, I hope this video helped. Not only break down the 6 basic human needs, but how to identify people that have them and how to lead them in your teams or as a client. The more I learned about the basic human needs, the better I became. Remember, the biggest mistake you can make is to lead people to your dominant need, and almost every leader does it. Don't be that person. Grow beyond yourself and learn about people. Guys, I'm putting out more content than I ever have before. All I ask is please share this video with your team or to a person that might need to see it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.